The two battled into the championship rounds, with Mayorga even taunting Mosley despite being consistently out.
Claiming he was punched low, fight on, instructs referee Dan Mergliata, parry more to the body with the hooks.
It's all Melvin Manouf. Once again, heavy blow to the head.
Big talk, flashy face-offs, smirks, shoves, smoke blown into faces, fists pressed against throats. The stage is always the same. Bright lights, roaring crowds, cameras zoomed in close enough to catch every twitch of arrogance. And every single one of these fighters believed the same thing walking into that ring, that they were untouchable. But confidence without consequence is just noise. And noise gets silenced. The drama surrounding Omar Khan and Batrad Gazif began before the first punch was thrown. Gazif crossed the line at the face-off, grabbing Omar by the neck as if dominance could be declared with a hand gesture. It was meant to intimidate, to send a message. Instead, it lit a fire. When the cage door closed, that aggressive energy didn't just
continue working. Those elbows are going.
Translate into control. Gazif chased takedowns desperately, clinging to single legs, searching for answers that weren't there. And Omar, calm, calculated. By the second round, it wasn't a fight anymore. It was a lesson. The man who tried to claim space with his hands ended up shrinking under pressure, learning in real time that respect is earned, not grabbed. Then came Luke Rockhold and Mike Perry, a masterclass in pre-fight bravado gone wrong. Rockhold talked like a man already holding the victory speech. He sliced through interviews with sharp words, promised humiliation, promised dominance.
He's now very comfortable, which he wasn't so much earlier.
But fighting doesn't reward poetry. It rewards pressure. And Perry brought exactly that. The moment fists started flying, Rockhold's edge dulled. The confidence that looked so polished during the stare down began to crack under bare-knuckle brutality. By the second round, survival replaced swagger. The man who vowed to leave Perry face down was instead searching for space, air, and answers. Ricardo Mayorga took disrespect to an art form. Cigarettes at the face-off. Smoke blown deliberately into Shane Mosley's face. Taunts, laughter, wild gestures, like the whole event was his personal circus. And to his credit, he came to fight. He pushed into championship rounds, absorbed punishment, even mocked Mosley mid-exchange. But boxing has a cruel memory. It waits. In the 12th round, Mosley answered every smirk with precision. A right hand, then another, then finality. Mayorga hit the canvas and the theatrics.
Down goes Annan. Massive left hook from on.
Ended. Cigarettes don't help when gravity takes over. Marco Abelardo's opponent opened their bout like a street performer, taunting from the opening seconds, showboating in the center of the ring as if style alone could secure victory. But style without structure collapses quickly. The moment Abelardo dragged the fight to the mat, the circus energy vanished. Elbows rained down. Blood appeared. The show ended in silence. Melvin Manho refused a respectful glove touch before facing Bob Schreiber. It was a small moment, but it said everything. Pride over sportsmanship. And early on, Manho looked brilliant, fast, explosive, punishing. But fights aren't won in moments. They're won in minutes. Schreiber endured, pressed, adjusted. Eventually, Manho found himself pinned beneath relentless pressure, unable to neutralize what was coming at him. Punch after punch landed until the lights dimmed. The man who rejected respect had to be carried back to it. Manuel Char tried to rattle Alexander Povetkin between rounds, even pushing after the bell. It felt psychological, strategic, but the sixth round told the truth. Povetkin's straight shots tore through the bravado. Char's body language shifted from cocky to cautious. Because when fists start landing clean, confidence becomes optional. Anthony Joshua has seen this story more than once. Kubrat Pulev smiled through early exchanges, laughing as if Joshua's power was exaggerated. Until it wasn't. A few clean connections erased the grin. By the later rounds, the smirk had become survival mode. Charles Martin once declared he walked the earth like a god before facing Joshua. 2 rounds later, He was staring up at the arena lights while Joshua stood over him as champion. Roger Huerta smiled and waved mid-fight as if the contest was beneath him. Koji Ando didn't find it amusing. As the rounds passed, Ando's punches grew heavier. The energy shifted. By the final bell, Huerta's grin had faded, and so had the decision. Time and again, the pattern repeats. Aggression at weigh-ins, shoves, words that cut deep, veterans calling it man versus boy, fighters promising knockouts before the bell even rings. And yet the ring has a way of stripping illusions. It doesn't care about interviews. It doesn't care about taunts. It exposes preparation. It exposes heart. It exposes truth. Carl Thompson looked exhausted before landing the punch that changed everything against Sebastian Rothman. Rothman had been taunting, smiling, lowering his guard just enough to feel untouchable. One perfect right hand later, he was face first on the canvas. Overconfidence doesn't just fade, sometimes it detonates. Adam Azim was supposed to learn a lesson against Ryland Charlton. Man versus boy, they called it. But the so-called boy delivered a brutal education of his own, starching experience with speed and hunger. Anthony Mundine tried to intimidate Jeff Horn at the weigh-in, pushing, escalating. On fight night, Horn ended it in one round. Again and again, we see it. Fighters believing the performance before the fight is as important as the fight itself. But the cage doesn't reward theatrics. It rewards discipline. It rewards humility. It punishes ego. Because at the highest level, arrogance isn't confidence, it's vulnerability. And that's why these moments are unforgettable. Not because someone talked trash, but because they had to answer for it. Now I want to hear from you. Which fight was the most satisfying reality check? Which overconfident moment made you shake your head the hardest? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And if you love stories where hype meets hard truth, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. We've got a lot more drama, knockouts, and lessons coming your way.